there will be no further correspondence, and the permits shall be given for transportation within so-and-so date. In my report, I wrote one chapter. And I said, the value that is reasonably estimated value is 23 crores of rupees loss. This should be recovered from the Honorable Chief Minister personally, and he should be prosecuted for the loss. Don't be too happy. We had a governor in transit. The chief minister, who was not the chief minister now a member of parliament, appealed to him. In one-line order, His Excellency wrote, he claims that he has done it in public interest. Therefore, you cannot attribute any motives to him. Law says you can't do it. Public interest prevails when it comes to a particular person. And that was later followed in 64 cases by officers. I've indicted them also. That's the manner and system in which this is happening. There was another very interesting chapter in my report. It was about 28 politicians writing letters to various secretaries, and there's one nationalized company called Mysore Minerals Limited saying that the bearer of this letter is a very good friend of mine. He wants 1.5 to 2 lakhs metric tons of iron ore. Please give it to him. Price is not mentioned. And the records of the company shows it was sold at 25 to 30% less than the market price at which the company acquired it. And that's the only company in Karnataka which during the period of 2000 to 2008, when I submitted my report, was running under loss, while others who had zero in their bank account has got 25,000, 30,000 crores. And this company is losing. Sometimes when people say, let's nationalize this, I say, what will be the fate of nationalization if this is the way the things are functioning? In this context, ladies and gentlemen, I think Karnataka Lokayukta has stood its ground against the political pressure and also the bureaucratic thing, and has done something more than most other states which have this post have done. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I see from the program there's going to be a question and answer. I always like to say that you must test my transparency and my accountability. I'm here to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
I would request the audience to be very brief in their questions. We'll have about 10 to 15 minutes for question answers. If anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand. And
These are the state of affairs in Karnataka. Then what about Bihar?
I don't know the Lokayukta in Bihar.
They don't have, but then that reminds me of a judgment of Allahabad High Court, where Justice A.N. Mullah, while trying a criminal appeal, the argument was the investigating officer was very corrupt. He has not done the investigation properly. So Justice Mullah, in his judgment, wrote, if there is any organized criminal gang in India, that is the so-called police force of India. Then he next said, in a basket full of stinking fish, you cannot pick up one fish and say that this stinks when the whole lot stinks. So I can't indict only this police officer. Similarly, that matter was taken up to Supreme Court. Supreme Court modified that comment by saying Justice Mullah had the experience of only Karnataka, UP. He could not have criticized the other state. In that background, I can't answer your question. No, I'm a fatalist. People with much better security have gone before me.
Welcome to Tamil Nadu. We enjoyed your lecture, sir. There are three issues. Number one is capitation fee, your opinion. Number two, the pharmaceutical nexus between pharmaceutical company and doctors. I'm a physician. Number two, who is the person to judge the judges? Of course, you are a judge. Even judiciary is not free from in this country.
The topic is not judiciary, otherwise I would have come with some more revelation.
Okay. I'm a physician. You can talk about pharmaceuticals and because
Look, there is a general feeling that most of these pharmaceutical companies are indulging in spurious drugs and indulging in putting it in the government hospitals, ultimately causing a lot of health hazards and other things. But I think you should ask Tamil Nadu to have a Lokayukta to inquire into. We have done it. We have done it, and we have indicted and we have asked the government to, because we don't have power against the private people. Therefore, we have asked the Commissioner of Health to blacklist those companies. But then these are like mushrooms. Today they open in the name of A. Tomorrow when it is blacklisted, the same company comes in the name of B. And for this, I think people should be more vigilant. When an issue like this starts developing and people start talking about it, I think we should then itself raise our voice. The institutions cannot look after these things. If the society itself is, what can I do, attitude society, then it's very difficult to deal with.
capitation fees, because that is...
Sir,
That's again a private institution, yeah.
It's an act, it's a UGC, you talk about future generation. See, I get degree by paying money.
Well,
I can become a judge.
Under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 amendment, if you pay money, even that is an offense. Huh?
But that is what is happening in the society.
Then you are guilty.
I request the audience to restrict the question.
Only one question I got. Justice, you are talking about so much corruption. The elders who fortunately live now say during the British period, the British rule, there was almost zero corruption. Like,
I don't think so, because...
not so much corruption.
Degree, yes. I also...
But how they controlled corruption, I will like.
Let me tell you.
That is the
The
question.
Prevention of Corruption Act...
How they were able to control the corruption?
They didn't. Because they failed, they brought in a special enactment
That's what
called the Prevention of Corruption Act in 1947. See, when do they bring in special enactment? All offences which anybody can even contemplate were there in the IPC. Special enactments comes when the crime goes out of control, like the Kada, Ota, Makako, like the Domestic Violence Act, like the SC/ST Violence Act. All these come in either as a measure of pleasing people or as a measure because a special law is required for a quick disposal of the matter. In 47, then the government felt that the corruption has come to such a level, it required a special law. So it made it in 47. So let us not be saying something about the previous rulers that they contained corruption. No, they didn't. But the degree of corruption is somewhat correlated to, I think, inflation. Yeah, no, but then even now, Mr. Datta is telling me salaries were much better those days, but according to me, no, now it is much more better. I would like to let you people know something about the salary of judges. 1914, the salary of a High Court judge was 4,000 rupees. In 1948, they reduced it to an Indian judge to 3,500. I think that's the only position where salary was brought down. Until about 86, that remained to be so. Now, of course, no judge can complain because the High Court judge gets about 80,000 plus perks. I can definitely say, if you are inflicted with this disease of greed over need, then any amount of salary increase will not cure him that disease. That's why I gave you that example of the doctor was getting 36,000, now 80,000, but his demand was always there.
So there is a photograph in one important daily showing
Well, do you want an answer for that? Well, there are generous people who donate. Huh? Therefore, naturally, it comes from there for a small little quid pro quo.
Government will have one pension to be disposed in 7 days. That is there. But in a village administration, no charges pension, nothing. One pension goes, no account, no personal register are maintained.
See, this is another sad state of affairs. Mahatma Gandhi is supposed to have said, before he died, that take administration to village doorsteps. Don't make villages to come to towns and to state and union capitals. So we did the Panchayat Raj Act and it came into force. We have now panchayats for the grams which have 5,000 to 6,000 people, given the administration to them, given the political administration also to them. But how many people believe in today's Panchayat Raj system? Administration has really gone to the doorsteps of the villages. If you ask me, at least in Karnataka, it's only corruption and politics which has gone to the village panchayat level, not the administration. I'll tell you, inquired into a scheme called Nirmala Yojana. In that Nirmala Yojana, every house had to have a toilet. In a village which is now Naxal-infected village, 64 toilets were to be built for the 64 houses that they were there. The toilets were not built. So our officers went to inspect. The president and the secretary of the panchayat called them to the panchayat office, fed them pretty well and said, "Sirs, there's no need to make any inquiry. It's not correct to say that there's no toilets have been built. We have built 2 toilets, one in my house, one in the house of the election." This is the situation. This is the type of citizens we have produced.
So one village administration officer enjoying a status of secretary.
Correct. But then, you should talk to your government. You should raise your voice. That's the only way out. Otherwise, you can't.
Corruption may be not necessarily in the form of giving some cash, it may be in the form of favoritism and also kind also. So for
See-
to prevent only when the money is transacted, that is possible through video and other things. But in some other cases, that is favoritism, helping the person to promotion, getting some job and all. In these also, this is also a form of
Yes, because if you...
misusing the power in some way.
If,
He is a government servant or politician. They are misusing many ways.
yeah. May I answer your question?
He is comprehending all those various things and then come into conclusion to do certain very concrete steps to contain all these things. This is my question.
First one is I can answer. Second one, I think you must answer my question. The first one is, if you understand the meaning of the word illegal gratification as defined under the Act as well as by judicial pronouncement, it is not confined only to cash corruptions. It's got a much wider and holistic meaning. Anything which is not legitimately claimable. It could be illegal relationship, it could be due to various other factors, and everything is illegal. Second one, you said you must develop some concrete things to stop this. That suggestion should come from you. Because I have tried almost everything, and I have seen only corruption level go up. I have not been able, because more and more people today are, this thing. I was explaining to them, who is really interested amongst the people in power to fight corruption? On 23rd of June 2008, 17 bills were passed in 12 minutes in Parliament. I'm not concerned about the 16 other bills, but one bill is amendment to the Prevention of Corruption Act of 1988. They denuded the act by taking away 3 sections. One side, everybody talks. I got the cuttings of the former president, vice president, Prime Ministers, two Prime Ministers, three governors speaking in Republic Day parade, Independence Day parade about fighting corruption. Everybody accepts there is corruption in a big way. But those in power who make the law, who implement the law, how many of them are really interested in fighting corruption? I know in Karnataka when I came as Lokayukta, the very first day I put my assets and liabilities in the website. I met the IAS officers at their hustings. I went to their association and requested them, please put your assets and liabilities in the website. If you are honest, there is nothing to hide. Today, Delhi High Court has given the judgment. How many people are following this? I mean, these are things, where transparency is absolutely necessary. If you want people to have confidence in an institution, you must know how the institution functions.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I wish to congratulate you for your lecture with so transparency as well as without any innovations. But I differ with you in one aspect. It is a request for you to reconsider. After all, these politicians or MPs, they are a part of the corrupt society. They are not people coming from heaven. My question is, when there is no better option for the democracy, we have opted for it. Not that it is the best. Under these circumstances, raising the salaries and perks of the politician, MPs, I consider is justified. Because even in smaller public sector organizations, even the middle management level people, they are getting fat salary with perks. When such is the case, the people who makes the law, maybe in 500 to 600 people, can be given this salary, because at least a handful of parliamentarians who are uncorrupt will be served with this. And telling that we are raising this allowance from 1,000 to 1,000 for shouting is not a contempt against the parliamentarians. I consider that as a contempt against the democracy itself. So when lakh crores of people are squandered as corruption, legally giving few lakhs of rupees as them as a salary, I consider as justified, and the educated people should not criticize it. We have got every right to criticize the way they behave in the parliament. But I feel that we should not be criticizing it for the salary and